Hey everybody, welcome to Sew with Joe. Today we're picking up where we left off last time, putting a denim patch under the hole in my knee in this very thin material. So working on reinforcing and making warmer. And so we got from there to here last time. Today, hopefully finish up the last little bit. And yeah, then I'll show you what it looks like on the inside and we can move on to the next one. Let's get into it, and then we can get on with the good world news. So using thick black thread, using a really big couch needle, and I usually use what they call a blanket stitch. I just find it's strong. So today in Good World News, we are going to discuss how your family can go zero waste. And what is zero waste? Zero waste is when you do whatever you can to not throw anything in the garbage. And what I'm going to give you an example of a family of 4 and use what they do as an example of how you can go zero waste. So like I said, family of 4, and the example we're following here, in 2 weeks for 4 people, there were 4 pieces of waste that went in the garbage. And I'm not saying this is something that's going to happen overnight, so don't be intimidated by it. The main thing is a shift in the mindset, and if you shift your mindset, then everything else will follow. So what these people do, cheers. The first thing I should say to do is to use up all your single-use items. Pardon me. Use up all your single-use items because you don't want any of them to go to waste. You've already purchased them. The damage is already done. Use them, finish them. But when you do finish them, replace them with reusable solutions. Either keep using those containers and refilling them from bulk, or buy special containers so that you can buy in bulk, and do this for everything. Everything that you can fit into your life. And people talk about creature comforts and whatever. It's amazing what a person can get used to if you just make the change. If you make up your mind, say this is for the planet, this is for my family's future, and you explain that to them, and it's, like I say, it's amazing what you can get used to. So when you're replacing all these items, hang on to the containers, and even if you don't use them for what they were used for, you can always find another use for containers, especially glass jars. They're just so great for storing anything, and with a lot of places not taking glass as recycling, it's difficult because that goes to the landfills. So hang on to your glass, reuse the jars. And just try to think of what you're putting in your garbage can and how you can make that not happen. Other thing they do, a pretty obvious one, kitchen waste. Any waste food or anything goes into compost and is managed appropriately. And composting isn't just as simple as throwing something in a bucket and saying fuck it. Oh, sorry. It came out because it rhymed. Pardon that. But yeah, there's more to composting. I know I'm not doing it properly yet, and I need to get in the game fully. But it is that shift in the mindsets. Like once you start doing it, then you'll see how, if how you're doing it is working, great. If not, then you'll want to change how you're doing it. So that's one thing with kitchen waste. That's basically what makes your garbage go rank. So if you don't have all that food waste in your garbage, then you can have a garbage bag in your garbage can for way longer and actually fill it up and use that bag. And one big thing that they say they do is that they just avoid buying plastic. If they do have to buy something that's in plastic, then they try to buy as large a container as possible, buying in bulk, and then they use that large container to buy bulk later, or they use it for something else. Oh yeah, so I got to the end there and flipped it inside out. I'm sure you watched the whole thing while I was sitting there doing it and chatting, but yeah, we're now on the inside, made a little bit of a transition, and we're going to finish up this seam here. Gonna bounce the thread over, and then back at it and through the seam. As far as cleaning products go, they buy those in bulk from local suppliers as well. And that can be as simple as finding someone who makes environmentally friendly soaps and stuff in your area and supporting that local business. It's cold out today. The house is cracking. Not sure if you heard that one. Fruit and vegetables and bread are all bought locally in bulk as well. So no bags of fruit. The one good thing about those fruit bags is soon they'll be replaced with a non-plastic option, so that won't be as big of a concern. Another good way to keep down on your waste is to have a garden, so you don't have to go out and buy all the fruit and veg and stuff and herbs and all that stuff, because herbs are very overpackaged and very, very expensive. Probably a lot because of the overpackaging. And another thing that you can do for the fruit and veg is actually have fruit trees. And I know that takes a while to grow in, but you know, even if you would buy, you know, a half mature apple tree that would be producing apples in a couple of years, that would save you in the long run, and it would save the planet. So it's an investment not only a financial thing, but also you know, showing respect for the environment. So many things you can do. When they do have to buy something, they do whatever they can to purchase stuff from secondhand stores, thrift stores, or they hit the free apps, the giveaway apps, and they purchase their items through these giveaway apps rather than buying things new. Great way to save money too, that way. So I think we have our patch all in, and I'm gonna pull some pins on this one, do some trimming, and see how it looks. Now, I mentioned family, and children are a big waste producer, let's say, to put it scientifically. So for your kids, there's a few things that you can do. For crafting, because lots of kids like to do crafting and keep their hands busy doing that stuff. They use packaging. So, you know, if they order something, if they have to order something through the mail or buy something new, they hang on to the packaging, and a lot of it is used for crafts. this family did the reusable diaper route. So scrape and wash, and then you don't have all those disposable diapers in the environment. And I know you might, a lot of people would really not like that thought. It depends how badly you don't want to be putting that plastic in the garbage. And I did discuss a company that's doing that for you now, so maybe there'll be more startups like that around. You won't have to do it, but if you do care enough, scrape and wash. With the kids, they have an understanding with their toys that it's one toy in, one toy out. So that there's not an accumulation of stuff. And one of the 4 items that they'd had to throw out that week, or in those 2 weeks that they had 4 items thrown out, was a toy. It was a broken toy. Yeah, that looks pretty good. A little bit of stretch in it. A little warmer. Let's have a look. And the fun part about the inside patches is you can't even really tell it's there. So as this opens up, it'll reveal more of the patch, and it'll just kind of shred open like these pieces here, and we'll lose them to the world, and life goes on. I do still have more work to do on these jeans. I would like to do pocket extensions. And do I have belt loops? Oh yeah, I'm good to... It's my 5 belt loops on this one. One's about to let go though, but that's why you have 5. Then once these ones let go, I can pop them out, put new ones in, and carry on with that. So yeah, I'll do a little bit of searching. So, okay, I still have a few things to talk about. The sewing part is done for today, I think, but I just have a few notes that I wanted to finish off with here. 2 things are really, really, really important for becoming zero waste. 1, buy high quality items. If you buy something and it's not worth fixing, it's not worth having. If it's just something that you're going to buy and you know you're going to throw it away, don't make that decision to buy it in the first place. Either find another way, or buy something that's already been used and almost used up, because if you're only going to use it once and throw it out, then why buy new? And higher quality items, it will last longer, and they are worth the effort to fix. And that is one of the hugest ways to save money, is to buy better items. And I know that sounds counterproductive, but think about it. The classic example is a pair of boots, and you've probably heard this before. It's if you buy a cheap pair of boots, you got to buy another cheap pair of boots next year. So let's say $50 pair of boots every year, or a $500 pair of boots every 20 years. Or a $500 pair of boots that lasts you the rest of your life. So there's the economics. It does work out in the long run. It's always the short vision, the short-sightedness that gets us. You go somewhere, and it's like when I was a kid. When I was a kid, I wanted Reebok pumps so bad, and they were over $100, and that was just unheard of for our family. There's no way. The thing that finally convinced my parents to buy me a pair of Reebok pumps was they bought me a pair of shoes from Kmart, and they fell apart the first day I had them. I think they were $5 shoes, and the adhesive holding the sole on the sole was paper thin. The adhesive holding the sole on just let go. I wore it from them for one game of basketball, and they just completely disintegrated. And that's when they finally decided to get me a pair of Reebok pumps. And I completely understand that we didn't have the money. We also didn't have the money to buy garbage. So I think, that's a really good example of where buy quality comes in. And sometimes it just takes it being really obvious to, and I know it wasn't money that we had. It was just, those shoes lasted me years. I wore those things till they completely fell off of me, and like well into university. So buy a pair once and it'll last a lot longer. I know your kids, you grow through things, but this is where the next point comes in, is being connected to a strong community of people that have similar values. So if you are alone and you have one kid and that kid outgrows something, it's waste. If you can connect to a larger community and share those things and have someone there willing to share with you, then you buy something once and you never have to buy something again. And then it's worth it, buying better quality things. So often, people will hide behind their children, saying, "Oh, I can't do this because of my kid. Oh, I can't, buy shampoo in bulk because they like it out of the bottle. Keep the bottle, buy it in bulk, refill it." Simple example, but don't hide behind your children. There are ways to do it. I'm not a parent. I know it's difficult. I can't, I know it's difficult, but it is possible. So don't hide behind your children. It's not because of your kids. There's my coffee and cookie, just in time to wrap up. I suppose I shouldn't be quite that harsh. Everyone has their limits. I just always have faith that I'll never be tested beyond my limit. You can do anything you want if you put your mind to it, and it's just It's the easy excuse of having kids that I get tired of. People just be like, oh yeah, instantly write the idea off because of my kids. No, no, no. Your kids will do what you set the example for. They'll do what they tell you. You tell them. It's not always that simple either. But if you don't set the example, they can't follow it. If you don't set the example, they can't follow it. Anyways, thanks a lot for joining me. Cheers. I do really appreciate the time we spend together, and don't feel pressured to go zero waste. It's a process. It takes time. Who knows? Your kids might even be motivating you to do it. So a lot of times, if you get them on board and explain stuff to them, they'll be more enthusiastic about it than you are, and will hold you to it. So if you do have kids, get them involved. Oh, well, thanks a lot for joining me. I do really value the time we get to spend together. Please don't comment too harshly. If there's anything about this that you disagreed with, just let me know. We'll discuss it. Oh, till next time, keep chillin'. Don't forget your cookie. Peace.